What's up guys, Bobby here, and I've got some great news for you guys today. As you know, I'm a huge fan of the Zhiyun Crane, which might be pronounced Zhiyun, not really sure. But in any case, I've made multiple videos about this piece of gear, and today I'm going to tell you how you can get a discount on any Zhiyun product. So the big news is that I have teamed up with Zhiyun US, which is the largest US-based distributor for the Zhiyun products, to be able to give my subscribers 10% off any Zhiyun product or any order basically. So even if it's multiple things, if you want a couple Zhiyun cranes because you want to mount all your cameras on there, awesome. Or maybe you want something for a GoPro or a mobile phone as well as the crane, something like that. So really awesome deal, can definitely save you a bunch of money. These do go on sale occasionally elsewhere, but this is a pretty solid deal regardless. So in a few minutes, I'm gonna go over some more details about the Zhiyun Crane since we've spent a lot more time with it in our 2017 wedding season. This is definitely one of the best decisions we made in our off season, which was to ditch the Ronin and go with the Zhiyun Crane. We are super impressed by it, absolutely love it. But if all you're here for is the discount, that is totally okay. What I'm going to need you to do is like this video and subscribe, and then you'll go to the referral link, which is in the description to the zhiyun.us website. And when you put everything in your cart and go to checkout, you're going to use the coupon RDM for Redmond Digital Media, my company, RDM 10 off, and that is going to get you 10% off of your entire order. Now, one of the major concerns that I've heard throughout the Zhiyun lifespan is that it's made in China. That is certainly the case still, ordering through Zhiyun.us. Like I said, it is a distributor. But one of the things they told me earlier is that Zhiyun has now opened a repair facility in the US. So any repairs that would need to be done through these can be done in the US. You don't have to ship it to China, and Zhiyun.us can help out along the way if there are any problems. Now, I have had no problems, seriously, no issues at all to speak of on my Zhiyun Crane. But like everything, you know, things do go wrong even with the best of gear. So that's a nice safety net to have, I would say. So that's the discount, and if that's all you're here for, awesome. I actually want to go a little bit more in depth with the Zhiyun Crane, really just to sing the praises of this thing. Now, we've had it for a handful of months. I've done a few videos on this, both on the crane, the firmware, things like that. But now that we're more kind of, you know, in the heart of our 2017 wedding season and, you know, corporate videos and stuff like that, I've gotten to use this a lot more frequently. And honestly, all it has done is, you know, just solidified my decision to leave the Ronin behind and go with this. So I want to focus on a couple things that really just, again, solidifies that decision and lets me know that we made the right decision. First is the mobility. This thing is so awesome. Comparatively to the Ronin, which is what we were on before, it's much smaller, it's much lighter. So that right there is huge. You know, my back is less sore, although certainly sore at the end of a wedding day. My ability to hold this for longer than the Ronin is awesome. And quite frankly, with the Ronin, at least for what we were flying, I didn't see the need for the two-handed handle. It maybe adds a little more stability if you don't know what you're doing, but if you're walking correctly, this can get perfect shots. So I absolutely love this. And again, the weight thing is huge. Now, of course, I will preface any of this with the fact that we're flying a Sony a7S Mark II. We've also flown some Canon DSLRs, but if you are flying something larger, then the crane might not be for you. You might need a Ronin, you might need a Movi, you know, something like that if you're flying a bigger camera. But if your payload is under 1,800 grams, this is an awesome solution. Highly recommend it. Seriously, cannot sing its praises enough. Kind of going further on that mobility thing is kind of your presence. So I mentioned the size. I don't have the Ronin here with me. I've sold it since, you know, we moved on to this. But along with the weight, this size is so much smaller, especially for wedding stuff. You want to be, you know, you don't want to be in the way. You don't want people to notice you. The day is not about you. And this really helps with that. You can still get stable, steady tracking shots, but you're not carrying around something quite as big. So I really love that. I'm always looking to be as minimal, as small as possible, and this kind of helps cut down that gear a little bit. And then the other big thing with mobility is the ability to add a base, which you can see right here. Now I have linked to the old base that I use in another video. I've since moved on to this one. They're both great bases, no problems with either, and you can find links to both in the description here. The base that I currently have on here is not as readily available. It goes out of stock a lot, so that's why I have the other one. But having a base is huge. If you've ever used a Ronin, you know that you need to carry the stand around, or you need to turn it off to put it down. It's an absolute pain, especially on wedding days. I seriously, hands down, the worst thing about it. While I did get great images, that mobility issue was huge. And this allows me to put it down anywhere. I've got it just on a table right now, but in weddings we put it down on floors, on tables. Any sturdy surface is gonna be okay, which is seriously just, it's amazing. It allows you to grab much quicker. You can grab gear and different shots and stuff like that. Now the next thing, of course, is the performance. And I can seriously, safely say I am certainly not getting worse quality out of the Zhiyun Crane. It's really hard to compare exactly because I'm using them in different shots, in different scenarios, and I don't have them to test side by side anymore. My shots with this are perfect. I absolutely love them. They're completely smooth. As long as you have the weight down correctly, you have it balanced properly, and you're walking correctly, same as with the Ronin, you would need to do all of those things. This delivers incredibly smooth footage. I am super impressed with it. I, of course, got incredibly smooth footage with my Ronin as well, and I did love that. But like I said, this is certainly not delivering worse. I would almost say it's better, but like I said, it's hard to compare exactly. However, one thing I will say is that I have had no problems with the Zhiyun Crane. I mean, seriously, this thing is so stable. Obviously, I have this on just one setting right now, but you can push in, pull out, you can rotate and it follows you. If I put it on another setting, it will follow me up and down, but I have it locked right now. And this thing is seriously awesome. I absolutely love it now, especially now that I've spent more time with it. Now with the Ronin, I did have a problem every now and then with the horizon being slanted, with it basically tilting on its own and never correcting. And it wasn't easy to fix. I would just have to turn it off, put it on the stand, turn it back on, and hope that it kind of corrected itself. Now with this, I've had no issues of drifting, though one of the nice things that I realized is that with the joystick in certain modes, the joystick can control the horizon. So if it did get off, you can just bump it right back to straight, which is amazing. Lastly, of course, is the price point. This is significantly cheaper than the Ronin or Ronin M. It's also cheaper than almost all one-hand stabilizers that I see out there. There are plenty of solid options, but like I said, I've had no problems with this. It retails for, I believe, $650. With that 10% off code that I gave you at the beginning of the video, that takes $65 off of it, which brings you below $600. In fact, compared to some of its competitors, it's about half the price. And for something that is built well, performs very well, and is held up, at least for me, through a good amount of use, I cannot speak highly enough about it. So that's kind of my second recap of the Zhiyun Crane. Now having used it a lot more, I absolutely love it, and I'm thrilled to be able to offer my subscribers 10% off with Zhiyun.us. Again, you can go to their website, which is the referral link in the bottom. Use the code RDM10OFF, which I'll put right here, and you can go ahead and use that to get 10% off of your entire purchase at Zhiyun.us. So thanks for watching. I hope you learned something. If you have any questions about the Zhiyun Crane, about the discount, or about anything else, leave a comment. I'm happy to help. As always, I'd love for you to like this video, subscribe, and follow along as we release more videos to help you build your brand and your skill set.